Guys and gals, welcome to this week's pre-foreclosure daily grind tip of the week. Chris the Drummer Bowles, Bob LaChance getting back to you. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but Chris looks a little beat up today.
This is why I haven't slept in a week, guys, literally.
Don't mean to chuckle, but this latest deal that we have with Bank of America First Mortgage, City Mortgage Second Mortgage, actually the two lenders have been workable, meaning City Mortgage and which was in second position, Bank of America first position. And again, we're not actually complaining with Bank of America because they've been good in this deal. Who we're complaining about and the challenge that we're running into right now is with the end buyer's lender and exactly how we're doing the HUD-1 settlement statement, which was already approved by the first mortgage and second mortgage. But again, the end buyer's lender has a problem with how the HUD is being written up. And we're going to get into it right now, and we'll give you the takeaway when we're done telling this story.
Right.
This current deal that Chris is getting his butt kicked on.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, you got three different parties who just are not agreeing. They're just not meeting in the middle. And as we'll say, anytime that happens, deal's not closing. So, but basically, obviously, like in a lot of two mortgage short sales, second mortgage is asking for more than the first is willing to pay. So, in order to make the first mortgage happy with everything, the HUD has to show, in line 505, payoff to the second.
So Bank of America accepted the short sale, and they're okay with the second mortgage getting
A total of above what they're paying.
Yeah.
However, it has to be represented in a specific way on the HUD for B of A to be happy. And that way is that the $3,000 that they're paying that's coming out of their proceeds is all that they want to see in line 505. Now, City Mortgage, the second.
So you guys pull out your HUD-1 settlement statement so you can follow this one. So I know it gets a little confusing, but for those of you who have been doing this, you'll be able to follow.
Right.
Doing short sales meaning.
Right. So basically, City wants 45. B of A is only allowing them 3,000 of that. So to make B of A happy, 3,000 has to be at line 505, which is what it's the payoff to the second mortgage, and then the $1,500 difference has to be elsewhere on the HUD. Usually it would be on the buyer's side of the HUD. Okay, that's typically where you'd see it, and that way it's all accounted for, but it's put there in a way that B of A will be happy. Now, City Mortgage, and I actually just got off the phone with the negotiator over there, and discussed in detail about how everything has to go down with them. Unfortunately, because they've been audited and they've gotten in trouble for doing this, this is why they cannot accept a payment, even by the seller, prior to the closing, to then turn around and issue an approval for $3,000.
Because we've paid down the principal to that actual payoff to be able to get the short sale acceptance letter down from $45 down to $3,000. That's what we've done prior to this. Now City Mortgage has gotten audited, and they're looking at these things right now.
And they've gotten in trouble for these, so that's why, unfortunately, since 45 is the amount that they've approved, that's the only letter she's going to give out is for $4,500, no matter what.
And again, Bank of America is okay with that. However, the end buyer's funding, where we're getting at, is having a problem with it.
Right. So, as we said, City's fine with that. City doesn't care how it comes to them. They just, as long as it's all on the HUD there, and they get all the money by the cutoff date on the letter. So those are those two lenders. Now, the end buyer's lender is the one that we're having our trouble with, because they're being a little picky as far as how they want things to be on the HUD, what they want the approval letters to state. And so what they're saying is they want the first mortgage approval with B of A to, in explicit detail, state how the second is getting paid, and the fact that it is the City Mortgage is the second.
And the end buyer's lender is McHugh Mortgage.
Yeah.
So that just to let everyone know who we're dealing with, so just in case you guys have a deal just like this, you'll know. Just watch this video again, and you'll know you may have to run into these challenges.
Right. So that's what they want the first mortgage letter to state. And then they want to obviously make sure that the first and the second, that they both match up. Problem is that because Bank of America is only going to pay $3,000 out of their proceeds, they're not going to put $4,500 on their approval. Why would they do that? It just doesn't make any sense. And plus the fact that, similar to City Mortgage, Bank of America has a template approval that they send out, and which they cannot modify or deviate from for legal reasons. So that's
that was right out of the negotiator's mouth that Chris just heard from.
Right. So him and I touched on that about probably 3 times in the last 2 days. That exact fact, because I just kept kind of bringing stuff up and trying revisiting things just to try to pull something out of my what to make this happen. So unfortunately, that's where we're at, and the way that the end buyer's lender is requiring this to happen for them to fund it and to close it is not going to work for either of the mortgages.
So what we're going to have to do is, and this just happened, so this is so recent. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to go back to the buyer, their agent, say, listen, you have to get a new funder, new finance company to finance this deal because this McHugh Mortgage is not doing it for you, period. So with that said, the big takeaway here is know who the end buyer's financing is, and if you're going to run into these things, try to find out as soon in the game as possible.
Right.
Anyway, also PropTracker.com. That's our online real estate management tool. We have our call tonight, our open Q&A training webinar that we have every single month with a ton of new updates. Anyway, that's this week's pre-foreclosure tip of the week. Again, see, this is a good learning experience for everybody. Okay, when you're getting into deals, always look at every single scenario. And Chris did a great job at finding out exactly what different policies are on second mortgages now with City Mortgage, which is obvious, and the standard template with B of A, and them allowing and being okay with extra money going to the second as long as it's not on line 505.
Right.
So that's this week's tips of the week. Chris Jordan, Bob with Chance. See you guys next week.
Somebody wake me up. Somebody wake me up, yeah. Somebody please wake me up. Whatever happened to the butterflies? Whatever happened to the summertime? And the feeling I got the first time that I saw you